Alright, and welcome to Intro to 3x3 Systems. Now, in these very first examples, this is going to be very easy, and I want you to understand that the math that we're about to do is going to be, practically speaking, how you finish every problem from level 2, level 3, and level 4. So let's kind of take a look at this system that we're given. We're given a 3x3 system, and so the 3 here can mean essentially that we have 3 types of equations. And the 3 right here implies that we have 3 variables. We have an x, a y, and a z. Now we're kind of fortunate here because this very first system has an x, y, and z. However, this second equation only has an x and y, and this last one only has an x. So in fact, this is a really good thing. Like, we already know what x is. And what we're looking for is we're looking for a solution in the form of x, comma y, comma z. Well, once again, we already know our x. It's 4. What we want to do is we want to take this and we want to plug it into our equation that has 2 variables. So for instance, I see right here that we have this equation that has 2x minus 2y is equal to 8. And notice that since we know that x is equal to 4, we can plug it in. And from here, we can actually solve for y. So 2 times 4 is 8. Minus 2y is equal to 8. And what gets rid of a positive 8? Well, negative 8 and negative 8. And so those two things cancel. And what we have here is negative 2y is equal to 0. We can divide both sides by negative 2. And of course, 0 divided by negative 2 is going to be 0. So now we know our second part of the solution. Okay. So the last thing that we need is z. And so notice that what we can do is we can say, you know what? Here, let's use a different color here. In this very first equation, or what I'm going to call row 1 later on, we have an x, y, and z. We can actually take this one and we can plug in the things we know. So let's write this as 5x minus 3y plus z is equal to 20. Okay, and let's see. What are we going to plug in for x? Well, I know that my x is 4, so I can plug in 4. And I know that my y is 0, so I can plug in 0. And from here, I can go ahead and solve this. We have 5 times 4, which is 20. We have negative 3 times 0, which is 0. And of course, we have our z term. And this, of course, is all equal to 20. And, well, of course, 20 plus 0 is just 20. So I have 20 plus z equals 20. And this is pretty nice, because how do you get rid of a positive 20? Minus 20. Minus 20. And we see here that z is equal to 20 minus 20 is 0. And this is kind of interesting. Our point is 4, 0, 0. So this is a plane that is going to cross the x-axis only. All right, 4, 0, 0. All right, let's try one more example to see how we can do this. Okay, for example 2, we have another 3x3 system. And y'all, I'm using the term 3x3 kind of loosely here. It's not technically one. You might call this a 3x2 by 1x3 system. Who cares? But let's get to it. So we have here, you want to find the line where you know your single variable. And so what I would tell you is, you know what? We look down here, we know what y is. So when you think about your final solution, x, comma y, comma z, well, we already know one of them. We know what y is. It is negative 1. Okay, and that actually allows us to use this to plug into our second equation. So I can take this 3x minus 2y, which is equal to 11, and I can plug in this y value of negative 1. Now from here, I have negative 2 times negative 1, and a negative times a negative is actually a positive 2 is equal to 11. And here you just have some very basic solving. We know we get rid of our addition first, so minus 2, and now we have 3x is equal to 11 minus 2 is 9. Well, of course, to get the x by itself, we'll divide both sides by 3, and this will give us x is equal to 9 divided by 3 is 3. Well, nice and easy. Okay, so I come over here and write my 3. Now the last thing that I'm missing is my z value. So let's go ahead and switch colors again. And let's go back to this equation that has all 3 variables. So let's say we have our 2 x, and remember, I know what x is, plus our 8y, I know what y is, minus 10z, I'll have to squeeze this in, is equal to 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug in what we know. We know that x is 3, you see that? We can plug in -1 for our y value, and from here we can proceed to simplify this. So let's go ahead and switch back to this nice red, and 2 times 3 is 6. I know that 8 times -1 is -8, and here I have minus 10z, let's make that better, minus, which is equal to 2. I know that 6 minus 8 is -2 minus 10z, and how do you get rid of a -2? Well, the opposite of -2 is +2. So I add 2 to both sides, and now I have -10t is equal to 2 plus 2, which is 4. And from here, I can divide both sides by -10. Now, if you remember from your fraction homework, 4 over -10 actually reduces. So 4 and 10 can both be divided by 2, which means that our z value, oh, that's a z, so z is equal to -2 over 5 once I reduce it. And once again, here's our solution. 3, -1, -2/5. All right, thank you all, and I'll catch you in our level 2 video.